Is everyone joined? Great. Thank you so much. It is 3:07, and we will call the State Allocation Board meeting to order. Pursuant to Senate Bill 143, Chapter 196, Statutes of 2023, the meeting is being conducted by way of Zoom and a teleconference. The meeting is being broadcast in Suite 3110 at 1021 O Street in Sacramento for anyone that would like to provide public comment in person. And in order for our meeting to run efficiently, if you're participating remotely, please note that you will be muted during the meeting. And if you would like to make a public comment, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom, and I'll call on you at the appropriate time, and OPSE staff will request to unmute you. And if you're calling into the meeting and not using a computer or the Zoom app on a mobile device, unfortunately, you will not be able to provide public comment. So before we begin, I'd love to welcome Assemblymember David Alvarez, who, thank you so much for being here, who was appointed to the State Allocation Board to replace Assemblymember Mia Bonta. And Assemblymember Alvarez represents the 80th Assembly District in San Diego County. So we are thrilled to have you. And you're here on a very special day. It is Lisa Silverman's last. So it hopefully will be an auspicious start for you, but bittersweet as well. So with that, Ms. Jones, will you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Senator Wilk.
Present.
Senator Laird. Senator Newman.
Here.
Assemblymember Murasucci.
Here.
Assemblymember Davies.
Here.
Assemblymember Alvarez.
Present.
Juan Morales.
Here.
Jeremy Smith.
Here.
Ana Lasso.
Here.
Gail Miller.
Here, we have a quorum. Thanks everyone for being here. So before we start with our agenda items, we're going to take a few moments to thank our amazing executive officer, Lisa Silverman, and we will present her with a resolution, which we have here, right, Ms. Jones?
Yes, right.
Yay. So I think I said this when Ms. Silverman announced her retirement, but it is the dedication and the servant leadership that Ms. Silverman has provided the state of California is truly second to none. I know many of you are here to acknowledge it, and it is truly an honor that I get to be chair, but it's really just standing on top of the shoulders of the 39 years of service you've presented. So do you want to come up here?
Give it to you.
Oh, really? Oh, no. You want to stay up too. Let's stay up here together.
All right. Okay.
So it is, can you guys all see us? Oh, sorry. So Ms. Silverman's longstanding public service career has been with several state departments, but for the last 17 years, you've been at home with us at the Office of Public School Construction. You were appointed as the acting executive officer of OPSC and the SAB in January of 2010 and received the governor's appointment as the executive officer in March of 2012. And tomorrow is your retirement date? Yes. 39 years. Thank you so much. So I'm going to read just a little bit just because 39 years deserves a lot more than this. But
Do you want to be on this one?
here, I'll hold it.
Let me sit down.
Okay.
You guys do it.
I'm not sure I can do all of this at once, but I'll try. So you were instrumental in the implementation of Prop 51 and the grant agreement document. You were a visionary for the online application database system known as OPSC Online, working collaboratively with the U.S. Department of Defense and helping school districts with schools on California military bases secure school facility program funding for new construction and or modernization of these schools, and the small school district outreach that concentrated on visits to small school districts to help them navigate the application process for the various programs under the school facilities program. And you also helped develop the priorities and funding process in 2010, whereby projects would receive an unfunded approval first before converting the unfunded approval into cash. You streamlined the internal and external process for financial hardship requests. And when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, regulations were processed that allowed the position of the executive officer emergency powers to grant requests to school districts that encountered problems meeting the school facility program and full-day kindergarten program deadlines. So your apportionments and unfunded approvals are over, like drum roll, $15.869 billion, representing 4,884 projects. So all of you that have students learning in new classrooms, you should thank Ms. Silverman for the program. And in 683.3 million, 205 school districts for a total of 857 preschool, transitional kindergarten, and full-day kindergarten classrooms under the preschool, transitional kindergarten, and full-day kindergarten facilities grant program, and 236.69 million for the implementation of the regional K-6 education collaborative grant program. So we, these words and numbers do not express our deep gratitude, because it's the service, it's the integrity, it's the character, the compassion. I think all of you here will stand in testimony that this state is a better place. Our students get to learn in safe environments. School districts, whether they're small or large, in red or blue parts of our state, have been served, have been treated with respect, and all of us here can only hope to emulate your service and your kindness and your incredible character. So,
Thank you.
small token of our appreciation. Oh, thank you.
One
So
more
just-
year.
One more year. So I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything briefly about Ms. Silverman.
I certainly would.
Oh, thanks,
But I
Lasso.
have the privilege of having you be part of our team, and we're gonna, I don't think there are enough words to express how much you will be missed at DGS, in our organization. And so it's just bittersweet that we got, our overlap was pretty short, but, I am very, very happy that I got to know you and work with you, and I think that, the resolution said a lot, but what folks here in this forum don't know is just how incredibly wonderful you are just here in the building and with the team, and getting to know your team really taught me a lot about who you are, because your team shines because of you and your leadership. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Lasso. Anybody else? Well, there'll be lots of time to celebrate Lisa. We're meeting at SMICS for anyone that wants to join us on K Street, so at 5:30. So thank you to Hannah for putting it all together. And we would love to see you there, so lots to celebrate, and it's very casual, no program, just an opportunity to raise a glass and appreciate Lisa's incredible service, and maybe a moment of mourning too for the loss. Oh, please, yes, please.
I was waiting for the
Oh, no,
committee
I
to
appreciate
have
that.
their turn.
Should I see if there's any other committee members before we turn to folks in the room? No. Okay, please go ahead, sir, if you don't mind just stating your name for the record.
My name is Alan Rising, and I'm the current chair for the Coalition for Adequate School Housing. So I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment and acknowledge the decades of work and collaboration that we've worked with Lisa and her group and her leadership of the Office of Public School Construction. Almost 40 years of service to the state of California, and just wanted to really reflect on the hundreds of thousands of student lives that you positively impacted across the state with classrooms and buildings and services and programs that you've been instrumental in. And so from my district and from the folks that I represent in Cache, I want to thank you for that working relationship and being able to work through sometimes some difficult questions, right? And work through some great programs and come up with some wonderful, unique solutions across the board. So really, truly appreciated working with you, appreciated what you brought to the table, and you're going to be greatly missed as we move forward.
Thank you.
And wish you nothing but the best in what life brings you in the future. So thank you for your years.
Thank you very much.
Got a hand raised.
Oh,
Cornelius Burke.
oh, hi, Mr. Burke, please. We're going to unmute you if you want to come off camera too.
Good afternoon, everybody. Cornelius Burke with the California Building Industry Association.
just want to echo the remarks from Cash and just thank Lisa for her service to the great state of California. It's a great partnership between builders, the education community, and the state. Great communities that equals great schools. So just thank you, Lisa, for your dedication and commitment to public service. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Madam Chair.
Please. Mr.
Thank you very
Marsucci.
much. Thank you. This is Assemblymember Al Marsucci. I thank you for the opportunity to appear virtually, but I feel like I haven't been around long enough to truly appreciate all the enormous contributions of Lisa Silverman to the state of California. But I just, I know my father almost served the United States Department of Defense for almost 40 years, and so I can appreciate that time period that Lisa has devoted to the state of California. And so I just want to say thank you, Lisa, for everything that you've done for the state.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marsucci. Anybody else? Totally. I want to, Mr. Morales, are you? Yes, please, go ahead. A protege of Lisa's that we're also grateful for.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Lisa, congratulations. You already know how much, you mean to me. You've accomplished a lot as an executive officer, as a professional, as a woman, and most importantly, as a mother. Thank you for everything you've done for me, for the office. We will really miss you, but congratulations. We're excited for you.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
Hermano.
Great. Anybody else? Well, thank you all for being here. No, just one more year. Well, we hope we have lots of moments to celebrate. And again, Lisa, we are so grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Okay, so with that, we'll go to the minutes from September 27th. Are there any questions, public comment? Mr. Watanabe, I don't have my Zoom, so I can't see hands.
Sorry.
No? Okay, thank you. May we have a motion and a second for the minutes, please?
Bill moves approval.
Thank you,
Davies
Senator.
seconds.
Thank you, Ms. Davies. May we take the roll, Ms. Jones?
Sure.
Please? Thank you.
Senator Wilk,
Aye.
Senator Newman,
Aye.
Assemblymember Marsucci,
Aye.
Assemblymember Davies,
Aye.
Assemblymember Alvarez,
I'm not voting.
Juan Morales,
Aye.
Jeremy Smith,
Aye.
Ana Lasso,
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye, the minutes are adopted. Next, we'll move to the executive officer statement.
Yes, a few announcements tonight. We'd like to share. We have the priority funding apportionments. That is also part of the consent agenda. And we'll have $167.2 million in projects. That $167 million available for projects to be funded, and that comes from the fall bond sale. So great news for those who are going to receive those apportionments. And just a reminder that you have a March 4th of 2024, a deadline to remit your documentation into our office at OPSC. And again, remember, that's the fund release documents and any contractual and other relevant information. So please submit that to our office because we definitely want to award your cash. And then the other reminder is also part of your consent agenda. We also wanted to share with the board that we are awarding $28.8 million, and that represents 7 projects that will be also part of the consent. And that represents the $367 million that was available for this last filing round. And as we all know, these funds were oversubscribed, so we had over almost $1.5 billion that came in with applications. And again, we will hold these remaining applications. And if there's additional funds that come in, then we will actually be able to award additional projects. But we also have a deadline when those funds, those applications will be returned. And then our next meeting is January 24th at 4 p.m. and more to be announced as far as the time and the location, excuse me. And then if the board would just indulge me in a few minutes, I would like to say thank you.
Yes.
Express my wholehearted thanks to the prior administrations and, of course, the current administration, Governor Newsom, and the numerous chairs that I had the benefit of working with at the Department of Finance. And Gail, you're platinum, honey. You are platinum. And the many state allocation board members. And again, of course, there's many directors at DGS as well, school districts and legislative members for entrusting my leadership ability to ensure that the school facility program and all the program grants that we administer, including the transitional kindergarten and full day kindergarten, was appropriately and effectively administered and dispersed. But as Gail mentioned, it's about the streamlining processes. I have lots of things to be proud of, and I appreciate what you shared earlier. But I know I walked in the door 17 years ago, and my focus was really on fiscal services. But I actually had an opportunity to start there in my audit role. But we did a lot of streamlining, and I was really proud of that. Also proud of the K-12 audit guide that we have, and then the full day kindergarten K-12 audit guide, full day kindergarten audit guide as well. But again, a lot of this couldn't happen without the valued that you all built and entrusted me to develop key relationships with our stakeholders, conducting numerous site visits, attending groundbreaking ceremonies and ribbon cutting events, as well as providing important outreach statewide. Each visit gave me a different perspective of the greater understanding of the importance of having quality educational facilities that meets the needs of California children and public education. These opportunities, again, forge invaluable relationships, and as we mentioned, billions of dollars. If I combine that together and do my math, it's over $16 billion combined with school facility program and the other program grants. Again, building trust together and strong collaboration, integrity, accountability, transparency, and this is ensuring with the public that the funds are being dispersed equitably and have great outcomes. And this grant process meets platinum standards. And for my team and my family at OPSC, thank you for your unwavering support and the accomplishment what always seemed as impossible tasks and to deliver excellent outcomes. I have the utmost respect for the dedication, creativity, commitment, perseverance, and appreciate them for being part of my journey. Because for your commitment has made a big difference in California school children and the investment in public school education. Thank you, Mr. Morales, for being there, being part of our team. Thank Ms. Barbara Camp-Meinert, Rick Asbell, Sue Rees, Brian LaPasse, Josh Potter, Michael Watanabe, I'm sitting right here, looking at Michael, Paula Falsegi, again, I think I mentioned Josh Potter, Tracy Sharp, the crew at Department of Finance and the K-12 budget folks, and Chris Ferguson, thank you for being there and supporting us for over the years. My journey started as a student assistant, a single mother, and as a college freshman at Franchise Tax Board, and I'm closing to 39 years of service as the longest serving executive officer for 14 years, and the second female executive officer and the only Latinx executive officer. In closing, I dedicate the 39 years to my three sons, Robert Insueta, Chris Insueta, and Sean Silverman, and my husband, Scott Silverman, who have been my motivation. And without their support, this career wouldn't have been possible. They endured my many nights of travel as I was performing tax audits out of state, in state, and performing tax here in appeals. And of course, in my current role, going to various school sites and important meetings, as we call it, doing our service. And thank you for the love and encouragement that you provided me each and every day, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter. And exciting days I have with my family, and this includes my two lovely daughter-in-laws, Brenda and Maricela, and my beautiful 5 grandchildren. And I'll be committed in spending my time doing charitable causes, and I look forward to that next chapter. So thank you for indulging.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And of course, none of this would be possible without Ms. Jones.
Yes, and Ms. Jones, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, so we really appreciate you, Lisa, and hopefully we can put your comments on the website, because I think it's just such a testament to service and for what we can accomplish, and also, quite frankly, for like the incredible trajectory and what a huge inspiration for your grandkids. So next. The consent calendar.
Yeah. Consent is ready for your approval, and as part of that, we just want to remind the board that we have over $640.2 million that's tucked away in the consent agenda. That includes the priority fundings, apportionments. We have the full day kinder program grants as well, and we have $80 million in unfunded approvals as part of that. We do have one item that we also want to ensure that it's not part of the priorities of funding action item. We have a withdrawal request from San Bernardino City for the application number 57-67876-00019. That's on page 305, so that would be withdrawn from the agenda. With that, we seek your approval.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board or public comments? So we're approving the consent agenda. Oh, sorry. Just super briefly, we're approving the consent agenda. I'm hoping we can approve it with the 2 action items at the same time as the consent approval. And just to note one more time that San Bernardino City Unified has requested that application number, I hope I'm not expected to read this, 5767876000109 on stamp page 305 will be withdrawn from the agenda today. So with that and those 2 action items, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Great, thank you, Mr. Marisucci. I will second. May we take the roll, please?
Certainly. Senator Wilk,
Aye.
Senator Newman,
Aye.
Assemblymember Marisucci,
Aye.
Assemblymember Davies,
Aye.
Assemblymember Alvarez,
Aye.
Juan Morales,
Aye.
Jeremy Smith,
Aye.
Ana Lasso,
Aye.
Gail Miller.
Aye. The consent agenda and 2 action items are approved. Next, we will move to the financial reports, please.
Yes, the financial reports, we have on page stamp 272, the status of fund releases. So we just wanted to highlight to the board that we had $87.6 million of funds released to districts and another $87.8 million in October. So that's great news for the program. So our districts are accessing the program cash. And then the next item is on 274, and that's the status of funds. And with that acknowledgement that we had over $640.2 million the board just approved, and it's reflected in the status of funds. With that, I would open to any questions the board may have.
Any questions? Any public comment? So then we're moving on. Our consent agenda included the priority funding school construction apportionments, right?
Yep.
Correct.
And the preschool transitional kindergarten?
Correct.
Great. So then our last item of business is the 90-day workload.
We have the 90-day workload and the appeals log and the board meeting dates available for your, if anyone has any questions.
Great. With that, any final public comments? Any board members wishing to comment for any reason? With that, we will adjourn in honor of Miss Lisa Silverman and deep gratitude for your service. Thank you.
Bye.